What's up, guys? Jaquel here of Back to the Basics of Health and Wellness and Ladybug Natural Solutions. I would like to thank you guys for joining me on another episode. If you guys want to learn more about Ladybug Natural Solution, go on over to my website, www.ladybugnaturalsolutions.com. Let's get into it. I say to my brothers and sisters, if nothing else we do, let us be tolerant of each other and share love. Dr. Sabi.
Daddy, it's time to start your podcast.
Back to another episode of Back to the Basics of Health and Wellness Podcast. On today's episode, I have the founder of MedEd LLC, Meditation Education. He is highly sought after as a meditation teacher, as a mentor, a life coach, a counselor, an artist, a public speaker, an activist, and much, much more, ladies and gentlemen. On today's show, let's give it up for Mr. Dox Diggla. How you doing, my brother? How's everything working out for you this year?
I'm blessed out here in these streets, as always. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses, all my reflections, all our reflections out here listening. But I'm just expanding, man. It's been a crazy 2019, been a crazy life, but, you know, like a lot of people experiencing right now. 2020, this year, this decade, I think is about clarity, and not only yourself, but purpose and mission. So everything kind of coalesced chaotically on the surface, but even underneath the chaos is still structure, still alignment. So 2019 was that year of like really putting everything together, all my talents, my ambitions. And already in 2020, I'm just kind of enjoying the fruits of my labor. And I'm sure a lot of people are experiencing that right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I see you out here doing a lot of work from the vegan Thanksgiving to just helping people online and social media and helping people throughout, you know, all aspects of life, doing your meditations and things like that. Talk to me about how, you know, with the news. I see you out there on the news. That was an excellent look for you, brother. You know, that was very nice. That was a very, very good look. Tell me about how they got in contact with you. How did that transpire?
Well, appreciate you. And like literally, bro, I tell people all the time, when you do the internal work, things just start to line up for you. Because you got to think about it, like the famous gurus and the yogis and the shamans that kind of just live in a cave somewhere. For us to know about them, they didn't have social media, and even if they did, it wasn't on social media posting 20 posts a day.
Absolutely.
When you go within yourself effectively enough, the world starts to come to you. You know what I'm saying? You also start to notice the ways the world is coming to you that you otherwise may have missed. So case in point, I'm at work, like my side hustle. I'm a chef at this spot called Dean's. For the time being, I'm not going to be there too much longer, but it's been good to me. I've been up there for a couple, maybe 2-3 years, one of the best food markets in Jersey too. Beautiful. If y'all don't know about Dean's, you check out Dean's, Baskin Ridge. They got a few in Ocean, like South Jersey. But anyway, I'm in there doing my thing, and wherever I'm at, I do my best to stay present. So I'm not at work fantasizing about getting off and what I'm going to do when I get off. I'm fully in the moment. I'm cooking the food. I'm talking to the people. And I'm always doing that. Now, keep in mind, leading up to the vegan Thanksgiving, I think the day prior to this, it was actually about to cancel the event. Because last year, it was like an explosion of interest. People got their tickets way in advance, so we knew we was Gucci. This time, that didn't happen. We had like 5 tickets sold, and mind you, we come out of pocket for this. So we had a meeting with the staff, like, yo, we think we should cancel it. Spirit led us to just keep it going. We just had faith that, all right, we're going to rock. The very next day, I'm at Dean's, I'm doing my thing, and this couple comes in. I recognize the dude. I just didn't know where from. Come to find out, he was one of he's the weatherman for Channel 12 News, Dave Camp, right?
Nice.
So one of my coworkers was like, oh, yeah, you guys need to bring this guy on your show. You should interview him because they know I do my thing. I'm a meditation teacher, artist, and all that. So she was just joking. Come to find out, we wound up having a whole conversation based off that. And his wife, like, kind of fell in love with my story, and she has a platform. So the very next day, she asked me to come on her podcast. I went to do that. And then the next day, I was telling her, we have a vegan Thanksgiving on Saturday. She couldn't make it, but she put the word into Dave. Dave put the word into Della. And about an hour later, Della Cruz, the famous African-American anchor, She's on my jack, like, we want to run your story. And usually it takes like a week for them to even process if they're gonna have a story on. As soon as she heard about it, she put it right on. They did the pre story, they did the post follow up story. They also had me on there after Vegan Thanksgiving just to do a story on me, a quick story, and then I'm actually going back the end of this month, the 29th, and she's going to do her famous like spotlight show.
Beautiful.
She's going to do a whole 25-minute segment on me. And all of that came about just for me showing love, paying attention to my moment, and being present.
Absolutely.
So that's how.
Yes. Showing love. Yes, that's a beautiful thing right there. So let me just take it back for the people one time, and let's talk about who is Dox Diggla. So who is Dox Diggla? How did he get started, and how did everything manifest for you?
Okay. Can we curse on here?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not no potty mouth no more. I keep it 100.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
I still got a little hood in here, you know what I mean? But I always say to my clients, my classes, everybody on the face of this planet is carrying what I call a personal bag of shit, right? And I always reference Bag Lady, Erykah Badu. A lot of people don't realize that's what she was really talking about. The luggage and the baggage we carry in our mind and our spirit.
Yes.
So my personal bag of shit consisted of kidney issues since I was 23. Growing up in Northeast Orange, New Jersey, we know how that could be. Those who's from, those type of hoods. At the point where I started to turn to this path, my kidney had conked out. I went blind as a result. Went blind in my left eye. I was off of my third surgery, hoping that the same thing wouldn't happen in my right eye. At that point, I had lost my mate, my partner, my girlfriend of 13 years that I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. She was gone. Had to let that go. All my homies, all my bros, who I thought was my brothers, kind of disappeared on me, and my family didn't live there. So I was at complete rock bottom. Everywhere I looked, I was forced to just be still and kind of face myself, face my demons and my shadows. And at that time, I didn't even really believe in God no more. I had dubbed myself Mr. Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Like I just felt like God hated me if it was even a God. Like nothing made sense to me. I couldn't pray no more. And a friend of mine I was actually in a rap group with, as my artist too. He had left our group when we had millions of dollars on the table. We had deals on the table, and he took this path. And he had been doing this for a minute, and we kind of reconnected. And he reached out to me, saw what I was going through, and a 5-week class changed my whole trajectory, bro. 5 weeks online, matter of fact, wasn't even in his presence, of just picking up these simple ways and coping mechanisms to get some of this stress out of my system. Because that's the thing. It's not what you're facing. It's how you handle the energy from the response of it.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times we don't realize that energy can be sifted out. A lot of times we just try to approach our problems and issues from a mental aspect, which is important, but we forget. It's like we wash our bodies. We got to wash the spirit daily, momentarily. And I started to learn how to do that. And the minute I did that, my kidney started to heal up, which they said wasn't possible. My vision came back. I was still on disability at the time. I'd been fired from 5 straight jobs. All of a sudden, what I was learning in meditation started to create some notoriety for me. I never had plans on it becoming a business, but it organically became my business. Led me to my wife, led me to my family, my tribe, my son, and now we're here.
Beautiful.
I mean, so that's the very condensed version. If y'all want more, y'all can go check my music out, doxdiggla.com. I get into a lot more of it in the music, but yeah, man, that's a shortened version of it.
Go support this fella right here. He got some good stuff out there, some good music, some good intelligent music as well. So he'll definitely have you thinking and have you, figuring out life while you listen to his music.
Right.
Very beautiful. Yep. So, what services do you offer with your what is it? Meditation, education, med ed for short. And as of right now, I do my public classes for the community 3 times a week. One of which is at a very notable vegan restaurant that you frequent. I see you in there too, at Blueberry Cafe. We in there on Wednesdays. They have Aquafit, which is a recovery workout center, water bar. So I'm in there on Wednesday nights. Thursday nights, I'm at my main spot, my yoga studio, which is Ziegler Creative Studios, 350 Scotland Road, Orange, New Jersey. I'm in there at 6:30 on Thursdays. And then our main class is 11 a.m. Sunday mornings. But outside of that, I'm partnering now with hospitals,
working with different staffs. I have a whole program, an educational program for schools that may want to incorporate some meditation that I could forward to anybody who will be interested. And then also, probably, I would say the bread and butter, even beyond my community classes, which are super popular now, is my one-on-ones.
Nice.
I do counseling. It's called relationship recalibration, which is not just if you're in a romantic relationship, any relationship you could think of. The one with yourself, with your partner, with your friends, with your family, with God, right? Any semblance of a relationship, we work on that, and we do it through a practical mental aspect, but then I also do one-on-one meditation sessions so they can have the balance of both. And I kind of lead people to the healer and the guide within themselves. I'm nobody's teacher. I just have learned what I needed to learn to show people that teacher's already within themselves. They are their own guru.
Absolutely.
And, I apply techniques to help them do that.
Talk to him. You are your own guru. Remember that. You have the God within you to figure out the things that you need to do in life. Beautiful, beautiful,
Absolutely.
beautiful. How can the people connect with you, Dox?
Yeah, they can hit me up. I got a few websites. I got my music website, the one I just mentioned, doxdiggla.com for the music, merchandise, events, performances. For the meditation side, they can hit me up at brickcitybuddha.com. That's BRICKCITI instead of Y. And then Buddha, BUDDHA, brickcitybuddha.com. There's also Brick City Buddha on Instagram, just an underscore between Brick and City, between City and Buddha. And on Facebook, doxdiggla.com. You can hit me up through any of those platforms, and I'll be right there and available.
And I'll definitely have that information for you guys in the show notes for the episode. So, and also with your breathing techniques, can you talk to the people about your breathing techniques real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we have a lot of newbies, I kind of come back to the basics. Like Shaq used to always call Tim Duncan, big fundamentals, right? I take it back to big fundamentals, and I always tell people, to control your life, you got to start at the base level of it. And the first thing we do when we get here is take what? That first breath, right? Mm-hmm. That's our initiation into the physical realm. So when you control your breath, and think about when you are upset, when you're in an extremely emotionally volatile moment. One of the first things that happens to let you know you're out of balance is your breath does one of two things. You either hyperventilate or you stop breathing altogether. And to a large degree, most of us don't breathe effectively throughout the course of our day.
Absolutely.
We do what's called shallow breath. And all your energy, all your power, your prana, your chi, subtle energy, however you want to call it, is riding that breath. So if you aren't engaging with the breath, you're not maximizing your moment, your ability to heal yourself, your ability to stay in peace, and your energy. So the breath controls the thoughts. Thoughts dictate the emotions. The emotions influence our choices. Choices ultimately become your reality. So everything starts at the level of breath. And before I even give people techniques and any of that stuff, I tell people, any of your listeners right now, before we can even get to the technical aspect, you just got to remember to breathe. Mm-hmm. So I would influence everybody that's listening, whether it's your watch, your phone, any device you got that has an alarm on it. Set it for a few times a day, maybe 3 times a day starting out. Just to remind you, when you hear that alarm go off, for that next minute or so, as long as you can remember to do, just take nice, full, slow, smooth breaths in through your nostrils, out your mouth. Just do that for a few moments a day. Absolutely. That's how I started out, and the more I did that, it became like an organic connection with my breath. It was no longer, all right, let me breathe. It was, I notice when I'm not breathing. And that went to, now I'm always breathing. Now I'm always harnessing my God force, my energy, and I'm just staying in that. So the first thing people got to do is just remember how important that breath is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And everybody has a smartwatch at this stage of the game. You just have to use it to your advantage.
Right.
Right. Set like you said, set the alarm. Let it, let that happen. Make sure you do that, because I walk around and I see people not breathing, because you can see it. Once you do it, you see it. You be like, they're not even breathing right now.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and one thing I always say too, once you know something, and we're in an information age, so everybody has access to information, but to be able to implement, you got to remember what you know. So the biggest key to really shifting your life is just recalling and remembering to implement these things. So sometimes you got to create what I call mental signposts. I got a a band I wear, and I breathe all the time, but still, I need them sometimes too. I got a band on my wrist that says just breathe. You know what I'm saying? Initially, I was setting my watch. I'm always coming up with ways, mental signposts to remind myself to implement. So
Absolutely.
that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, so guys, make sure y'all out there breathing. Make sure you breathing effectively. To get that nice chi, that good energy into your body.
Yeah.
Hey, Dox, man, I would like to really, really thank you. I appreciate you. I love what you're doing out there for the people, man. Just keep grinding, keep doing your thing. You got supporters out there. You got a supporter within me. And, just keep doing your thing. And I thank you for coming on to the show today. I really, really appreciate it, my man.
And real quick before I get out of here, I appreciate you to the degree that your fans not going to know this, your listeners, but we connected at a time where I was still kind of blossoming into what I'm becoming now, what I am now. And I was out here hustling the jewelry, right? And my brother still supported your dad, bring some rain through for the family. And we started to connect in that way. And that's a huge part of this journey is understanding your consciousness is far beyond just your body. Everybody you come in contact with is a piece of you, has a message for you. And the more love you start to give to the people around you, the more support, the more it's going to come back to you. So I appreciate you supporting me in those moments. Without those pieces of support from you, I don't get to this part of my journey. So thank you, big bro.
And thank you as well for supporting me and helping me along my journey when we used to sit down and chop it up and have those conversations and, give it and bringing that enlightenment out, So I appreciate that as well from you, my man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Yeah. I would like to thank you again. Listeners, we here for you. Dox, just give out your information one more time where they can find you.
Yeah, BrickCityBuddha.com for meditation and counseling, DoxDiggla.com for music, merch, and everything else.
Guys, I would like to thank you all for listening to today's episode on Back to the Basics of Health and Wellness podcast with my man, Dox Diggla, a.k.a. Brick City Buddha. To learn more about Dox and his services, check out my show notes. If you guys can share the podcast or tell a friend about it, that would be greatly appreciated. Until next week, enjoy, be well, and make a lifestyle change that lasts. Have a great one, everyone.